In today's heartwarming story, we dive into a dramatic moment when a mother cow finds herself in a really scary situation. A giant snake is trying to swallow her whole. Can you imagine how terrifying that must be? Thankfully, her little calf, who had been happily playing nearby, spots the danger and bolts into action. With all the bravery a tiny calf can muster, he races off to find help. But here's the big question. Will anyone get there in time to save the poor cow from this terrifying fate? Let's stick around and see how this unfolds. This harrowing footage was filmed by a local rancher in the Indonesian jungle on his cell phone camera. He wanted to share the unbelievable moment with the world when he witnessed a giant 23-foot python squeeze the life out of a mother cow. The gigantic reptile had managed to coil itself around the animal's body and was trying to drag it into its lair underneath a wooden hut. The plucky calf was only around 6 months old, but luckily he was brave enough to run as fast as his little legs could carry him towards the sound of human voices. He hoped beyond hope that someone would hear his desperate cries and come to his mother's aid. And luckily that someone was the very person filming the ordeal from afar, the local cattle rancher. He later said he couldn't believe his eyes when he saw a tiny calf running frantically across the field. He stopped what he was doing and followed the little guy until he saw the disturbing sight of a massive snake trying to devour the mother cow whole. Despite the calf's best efforts, the huge reptile was slowly beginning to wrap itself around the cow's body like a giant python trying to squeeze the life out of its prey. The distressed calf then did something incredible, though. Instead of giving up and watching helplessly while the giant snake slowly wrapped itself around his mother, he did the only thing he could think of to try to save her. He started to bawl as loudly as he possibly could in the hopes that someone would come to their rescue. The rancher, who had been filming the whole scene from a safe distance, suddenly heard the calf's desperate cries. His heart raced, and without a second thought he dropped his phone, grabbed a machete, and sprinted toward the struggling animals. Honestly, he later admitted he was terrified of what he might find, but he knew he couldn't just stand there doing nothing. It was one of those moments where instinct kicked in, and he felt that he had to act, no matter the risk. You know that feeling when you just can't ignore something that needs help? That's exactly what drove him forward. But as he got closer, it hit him that he wasn't the only one who had heard that poor calf's desperate cries. An experienced snake catcher named Bias Subagja, known for his quick thinking and skill, had also rushed to the scene with his team. They were all geared up, ready to face off against the gigantic reptile that was causing all this chaos. You could feel the tension in the air as everyone braced themselves for what was about to unfold. It was a real showdown, and you could tell that Bias was determined to save the day. Would they manage to rescue the calf before it was too late? When the snake catcher got wind of the incident, he didn't hesitate for a second. He grabbed his gear and dashed over to lend a hand. In the video, you can see him, all in, bravely sticking his hand right into the snake's mouth, trying to rescue that poor cow. Can you imagine the adrenaline? It's wild. He knew the stakes were high, and that cow really needed saving. It's moments like these that show just how fearless and dedicated these folks are, right? You can't help but admire that kind of courage. But that determined python? Oh man, it was not about to let go easily. It was coiled so tightly around the poor cow's body that it took a whole team of strong guys to pry it off. Picture this. The snake catcher, with his experience and calm demeanor, teamed up with the rancher, who was clearly worried about his terrified mother cow. They both knew this wasn't going to be a walk in the park. It was a real struggle, and you could feel the tension in the air as they worked together, tugging and pulling, trying to free her from those relentless coils. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, they managed to set her free. Can you imagine the relief? The cow must have been so grateful to be out of that scary situation. The enormous snake was thrashing around like crazy, trying its hardest to break free from their grip and slither back into the tall grass. You could almost feel its desperation to finish off that poor cow. But those brave men, they held on tight, showing some serious guts. After a tense struggle, they finally managed to pull the beast away from its meal, saving the cow just in the nick of time. Can you imagine the relief on that cow's face? It's wild how nature works, right? With the cow finally free, the rescuers gently guided it to safety, relieved to see it trot away from danger. Meanwhile, the giant snake, a massive python, was carefully handled by the snake catcher, who had the tough job of relocating it deeper into the jungle. Now, here's the kicker. Even though pythons are protected in Indonesia, this guy decided to put the snake down anyway. It's a real head-scratcher, right? I mean, there are laws in place to protect these creatures, but sometimes people make decisions that just don't sit well. What do you think about that? It's a tough situation, balancing wildlife protection with safety concerns. The snake catcher explained that this sneaky serpent had already taken down 2 of the rancher's cows, which is just heartbreaking, right? The rancher felt totally cornered and knew he had to do something to protect his remaining livestock. After the snake was dealt with, the rancher was so relieved and grateful to the snake catcher for saving his beloved cow. He promised to take extra precautions to ensure she lives a much safer life from now on, maybe even building a stronger fence or keeping a closer eye on her. It's a tough situation, but at least now he can breathe a little easier knowing she's safe. The grateful owner couldn't believe their eyes when they saw the footage of the dramatic rescue go viral online. People were totally blown away by the sheer size of this python, which locals call a swamp eel. It's wild, right? These creatures are actually more closely related to boa constrictors than eels, despite their misleading name. Imagine spotting one of these massive snakes in the wild. It really makes you appreciate the incredible diversity of wildlife out there. What do you think? Have you ever seen anything like this? Some viewers who had never seen a python before were left wondering if that snake was even real, or just some fancy digital trickery. I mean, can you blame them? Pythons can look pretty surreal on screen. But then you had others who had actually encountered these incredible yet terrifying reptiles in the wild, and they were quick to confirm that, yep, that snake was the real deal. Imagine stumbling upon one of these massive creatures in the jungle. It's both awe-inspiring and a little scary, right? It's wild how perceptions can differ based on personal experiences. One viewer shared, "I grew up in Florida, so I've seen some wild things before. These snakes are massive. I'm just really glad you got away safely. I mean, can you imagine stumbling upon one of those giants?" Another person chimed in saying, "Honestly, I think I would just faint if I ever came across such a huge snake in real life. Like, how is it even possible for humans to take down such a colossal creature?" It's wild to think about, right? Snakes like that can definitely give anyone a serious scare. Wow, that was some seriously impressive teamwork between those two. Can you imagine if one of them had freaked out? I mean, the snake could have totally attacked and things could have gone south really fast. It's wild to think about how panic could have turned a cool moment into a total disaster. Hats off to those guys for staying cool under pressure. They really showed us how staying calm and working together can make all the difference in a tense situation. It's like they had this unspoken connection, you know. They were totally in sync, and that's what made it work. Super inspiring. Talk about a hero. That plucky little calf really stepped up when it mattered most. Imagine being just a small calf and sensing that your mom was in trouble. How brave is that? He didn't hesitate for a second. He knew he had to act fast to get help. His quick thinking led the rescuers right to his mom, and thanks to him, she was saved. Honestly, he totally deserves a medal or something for his courage. It's incredible how even the smallest among us can make such a big difference, right? This little guy is a true testament to bravery and loyalty. What a heartwarming story. After that really traumatic experience, the mother cow and her adorable calf were finally reunited. And let me tell you, it was such a heartwarming moment. They both got anti-venom injections, just to be on the safe side, you know? Thankfully, they bounced back like champs and were soon back to their normal, happy lives on the ranch, grazing in the fields and enjoying the sunshine. It's amazing how resilient these animals can be, right? Seeing them thrive again is just the best. The brave little calf has earned himself quite the nickname, Little Hero. Seriously, you should have seen him in action during that wild encounter. While he was facing off against a giant python, he didn't back down one bit. Talk about guts. Meanwhile, that huge snake was taken deep into the jungle and released far away from the rancher's property. Fingers crossed it doesn't stumble upon any more cows anytime soon. Let's hope little Hero can enjoy his peaceful days without any more unexpected visitors. What a story to tell, right? The brave men who swooped in to save the day have totally become local legends. And honestly, they deserve all the praise for their lightning-fast reactions and sheer courage when things got dicey. Just think about it. They could have easily ended up as lunch for that giant reptile, but instead, they risked their own safety to rescue that trapped cow. I mean, how incredible is that? It really shows the heart and bravery of ordinary people stepping up when it counts the most. Their selflessness is a reminder that heroes come in all shapes and sizes, right? It's just so inspiring to see folks like this making a real difference in their community. After the rescue, the seasoned snake catcher had some important advice for farmers. He really emphasized the need to keep their cattle in enclosed areas. You know, it's all about protecting them from predators like tigers and snakes that can be lurking around. He mentioned that if you spot a snake in the grass, it's best to keep your distance. Seriously, don't try to approach it. It could be super dangerous, and we definitely don't want anyone getting hurt. So, being cautious is key, right? Keeping your livestock safe and being aware of your surroundings can make a huge difference. It's all about staying smart and safe out there. He wrapped up by expressing his heartfelt gratitude to the rancher for reaching out to him. It felt great to be able to lend a hand, you know? He mentioned how his team thrives on helping both animals and people who need a little extra support. It's honestly what fuels their passion every single day. Whether it's rescuing a lost puppy or assisting a farmer in distress, they're always ready to jump in. It's all about making a difference, one life at a time. Rescuers are saying that the calf's desperate cries were a total lifesaver for the cow. And honestly, it's a heartwarming reminder for farmers everywhere. They're really urging folks to take this as a lesson and ensure their animals are safe and secure in their enclosures. Plus, it's super important for everyone to respect wildlife. Never approach or provoke snakes in the wild, you know? Just give them space, and we can all coexist peacefully. In Indonesia, you'll come across all kinds of snakes slithering around, and let me tell you, some of them are pretty dangerous, even deadly to humans. For instance, the king cobra and the pit viper are not just scary, but can pack a serious punch if you're not careful. So, it's super important to stay alert and take the right precautions when you're out and about, especially if you're hiking or exploring in the wild. Always watch where you step and maybe even wear boots if you can. Stay safe out there, okay? It's all about enjoying the beauty of nature while keeping yourself out of harm's way. Let's talk about that brave little calf who really stepped up when it mattered most. Seriously, this little guy is getting so much love and recognition for his heroic actions. I mean, can you imagine the sheer panic he must have felt? His quick thinking and determination to save his mom were nothing short of incredible. Just picture him making all that noise, alerting everyone around. What a champion. Thanks to his bravery, he not only caught the attention of nearby humans, but probably saved her life. It's heartwarming to see how animals can show such loyalty and courage, right? It's like he knew he had to do something, and he did it without a second thought. How amazing is that? You know, we can really learn a ton from this little calf. It's amazing how sometimes the smallest among us can make the biggest impact, right? I mean, just think about it. This little guy is out there, showing us all that strength and courage come in all shapes and sizes. Seriously, we salute you, little calf. You're a true hero in every sense. It's like you're reminding us that even the tiniest creatures can inspire us to be better and more compassionate. Whether it's standing up for its friends or just being its adorable self, this calf is a total game changer. Keep shining bright, little buddy. You're making waves and we're all cheering for you. Just goes to show, you never know who might be watching and learning from your example. What do you think about this super touching story? Seriously, it's got so much heart. We'd really love to hear your thoughts, so drop a comment below. And hey, don't forget to like and share for more awesome stuff. Thanks a million for watching.